Hello, Liz here with another craft. Today is August the 4th, and we're going to be using this sign here from the Dollar Tree. And what I did was I took my sanding block and I went over it because this was a raised area with glitter on it. So I took my sanding block over top of it, and we're going to cut off the hanger, and we're going to use this jute for the bow that we're going to put on top. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to paint the top part of this, only the top part. And I'll tell you as we go along what we're going to be doing. Hi Gilda, how are you? So I just have this, I went out and got me some. I didn't have any yellow. So I got Anita's all-purpose acrylic paint, and this is banana yellow. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and their paints right now are 30% off. So I just put a little bit in my tray there, and I'm going to go over this. We'll probably have to give it two or three coats of paint, and I'll dry it with my heat gun. As you can see, you can really see through that, so we'll have to give it several coats of the paint. And the heat gun came from Harbor Freight. Hey, I remembered the name of the store, Harbor Freight. And the board came from the Dollar Tree. And you can just use whatever board you have. I just like this one because it was long enough for what I wanted to do. I would have liked a board that was a little bit wider, but I didn't have that, so I'm just using what I have. So I'm going to put some more paint in here. You know, we might have to give this about 4 coats of paint. If you had like a thicker paint, then you probably wouldn't need so much. And as you can see, you can still see through it. And we don't want that. Maybe I should have put white on it first and then put some yellow on it, or maybe black. Maybe black would have been better, and then put the yellow on top of the black. Maybe I'll do that. I'll put a layer of black on, and then I'll put the yellow on top of the black. And that might work better. So this is, again, just Anita's acrylic paint that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm not too particular on the paints that I use, and I'm just using the same brush because I really want this to be yellow and not black anyway. I'm just kind of covering it up. And we'll see how that goes. I will have to wash out my brush though. Okay. So let's just dry this real quick. Gilda, are you and Charles doing okay? Staying in? Staying away from COVID? This is my last paper towel. So I'm just going to dry off my brush, and then I'm going to put it back in the yellow. know this right now looks like a hot mess, but I'm hoping it'll turn out. So this is what we got so far. I'm gonna put some more yellow in it once I dry this. It dries pretty fast. Okay, let's get some more yellow. And I kind of like it with the streaks of the black in there, better than having the streaks of the board with the saying. Of course, we could have flipped it over and used the other side, so you can do that. Okay, I think I like this, so I'm going to go with this. I'm going to dry it again. So I picked up this Farmer's Market calendar for 2021 and at the Dollar Tree, and everybody's kind of going crazy over them. If you can see these images, and that's for each month. Yeah, I kind of took mine apart. So here you have a pumpkin patch and trees and all like that. So it has some really good images in it. So we are going to use the one for August, which is this honeybee. And it says, pure, all natural, fresh honey made by nature, 100% pure. And it has the picture of the bee. And I forgot to say that if you guys like this video, please do this. And in the crafting world, we call this sprinkling the love. And if you know anybody that would like this video, please do this with them. And all my videos are in the video section of Liz's craft page. I also have uploaded several to YouTube and to Pinterest. My Pinterest is adorned by Liz. And hi Chuck, how are you today? So this is what we have so far, and now we're going to use our Mod Podge. Whoa, that's way too much. But we're going to Mod Podge this onto here. And I'm going to cut off this edge here. So I'm just using my old nasty brush that I like so much. And you don't want to use a whole lot of Mod Podge on here because it will soak up in your paper. So any extra Mod Podge that I have on my tray, I'm going to put back into my jar. And then I need to see how far up I need to go, so I will just go ahead and put the paper on and then go from there. So I want this to be on the bottom here. I'm going to line this up so it's about like that. Okay, and then I'm just pressing it down. Trying to get out all the air bubbles. You probably won't get them all out, but I'll try to get some of them out. And then we want to finish up the rest here. So this part I'm just going to put on the paper. Again, you don't want to use too much. We do have wrinkles in this, but that's okay. So this is what we have so far, and we're just going to cut off the edges here. So I'm just going to turn it to the back side, and I'm just going to cut the edges off. It wants to cut my board for some reason. Now you could probably use an X-Acto knife or something like that if you wanted to. And I will do the edges with my sandpaper block. Okay. So I'm just going to throw this piece away. And this piece, I don't know, I might use it for something, so I'll just keep it maybe for later. Okay, so I'm just smoothing that down, and then I'm going to take my sanding block here. Now I got these also at Harbor Freight. They come in a pack of 10 for $5. So I'm just going to go through and sand down the paper edge here. You see how that's coming off real nice? So that that's even. I'll do the other side. So again, the board that I'm using and the calendars came from Dollar Tree. See how nicely the edges are coming off there? Okay, that looks really good. That looks good. So it all looks good. So now what I want to do is, I got this, let me go ahead and put my Mod Podge back in the container before it dries out. Now what I have here is, I got this from Walmart, and it had, I think three different stencils in a pack, but we're going to use this one here with the honeycomb on it. So I'm just going to lay it kind of sideways here on my yellow portion, and I might also take it partially down onto this other part here. So I'm going to use this right here, and I'm going to use this brown, and it just says dark chocolate, and it's Deco art. This is a really old paint, but it still works, so I'm good with that. Now apparently the trick to doing these type of stencils is you want to offload most of the paint. So you're using very little paint, and you want to let me get my painter's tape and tape this down so it'll stay even, so it won't move around on me. Okay, so I'm just going to dab this in the stencil and put a little bit on my calendar, like I said, I'm using very little paint. See this? Very little paint. I just thought this would be a cute little addition to this bee home decor that we're making here. A little beehive. So let's lift it up and see. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. And I don't know, maybe I should do the rest of it that way too. Let me dry this. I think I'll do the rest of it that way. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more paint. Let me line this up. Okay, so I have this lined up. I'm going to do this part right here. Now, I am not an expert at doing these types of stencils. I'm a long way from it. But I've watched other crafters, and this is what they say to do. So it seems to be turning out pretty well. And like I said, this was just a stencil set that I got at Walmart, probably for like $4 or $5. Something like that. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. What do you guys think? I'm going to set this aside. Put my sponge in my water, and then I'm going to dry this. Got a little bit of paint on my calendar, so I'll just lick my finger to get it all. Okay, so now I also had some wood beads, and I had this jute cord that was off of another Dollar Tree board. And it has these ends on it. So I just put my beads, I have yellow beads and then some plain wood beads. These are all wood beads, but these are plain. They don't have any paint on them, and these are yellow ones that were bought that way at, it was a package at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to put these in the holes that are at the top. And we have our hanger there. And then we're going to make a bow. I know you can't really see that. Here you go. I'm going to make a bow to put up here somewhere, or maybe over here. So I have these ribbons, and I thought I would start out with this here. It's just a cream colored ribbon. I'm not sure where it came from, but it was sold by the spool, so it was probably maybe Hobby Lobby or something. So I'm just gonna, oh man, did I just get that on there? Anyway, I'm just gonna cut a piece. Not sure, it's probably about 6 inches or so. Hey Dave, how are you? And we're just going to make a little bow. And I have this here that I got at the Dollar Tree. It has little sunflowers on it. Again, I'm just cutting all my ribbons about the same size. Just going to cut this end off because it's bent up. I guess I'll go ahead and do this one. This is a cute ribbon. Not sure where these two came from. I want to say that looks like maybe a Walmart price tag. But these two ribbons, this is just a yellow, and then this has flowers on it with little sparklies. I'm going to cut the folded end over off. Okay, and we're going to see how this is going to look. I may need to put some more ribbon in there. So let me move this out of the way a little bit. So we have this one. And then I want to put this one, and this one, and then the yellow. I kind of want to have my sunflower on top. Okay. And then this is our string from the hanger. Hi Shannon, how are you? And we're just going to tie this up. Well, actually, it works a little bit better if you put a loop. If you just take your string, fold it in half, put a loop in it, and then bring your ends up into the loop. And then you want to pull it. And then you want to straighten out your bows a little, your ribbons a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to pull it tight, and then I'm going to tie a knot in the ends. Cut that piece off right there. So I'm just putting a knot in the end, tying it tight, just like that. And I'm going to cut the ends off. Hi Alice, how are you today? Actually, you know what? I'm going to put one more knot in it and then I'll cut it. I'm always afraid it's going to come apart. Probably won't because we're going to put glue on it. But okay, so I'm going to take the bigger ribbon and I'm going to dovetail it. So you just fold it over, and then on the end you cut this way. Just cut it a slant. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? So it just makes it look a little better. And then I'm going to do this side over here. Now I could do the same thing to the little ribbons, but I think I'm just going to cut them at an angle. Alice says she's been watching. I'm so glad you're here, Alice and Shannon and Dave and Chuck and Gilda. Thank you for watching. I'm just going to try to take my knot to the back. Okay. So this is what we have, and then I'm just going to trim up the edges here, cut them at a diagonal. Get the other side. Okay, the last one right here. So just a little simple ribbon bow here, and we're going to put it, let's see, I'm thinking right there. Yeah, right there. Just need this. Oh, okay, I just need to trim up these ends a little bit more. They're sticking out. I don't want them to stick out. So, I'm going to put some hot glue on the back. And then I'm going to put it right there. I think it turned out really pretty. And then we have this right here. These are some sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we would use one of those for the center of the bow. They have them all tied together, but make sure you use your old scissors and just cut one of them off. Now I do leave a little bit of stem just in case that's what's holding them all together, and I just bend it over. And then we're going to put our glue right over that. And we're going to put it in the middle of our bow. And this is what we have. What do you guys think? So we just took a Dollar Tree board for $1, Dollar Tree calendar for $2. Then we have these ribbons. The only one I bought was this one here, so it was from the Dollar Tree for $1. And then the sunflower, and then your stencil, your paints. So I'm pretty sure this was under $10. But just a nice little sign that you can hang up anywhere in your house. And if you don't want to hang it, you can put it on a stand. Might be a little tall, but I'll take a picture. Well, you know what? Another thing I was going to do, I was going to take my sand block and go over this a little bit. Now, it's already a little distressed on the paper itself, so I'm just going to go over it just a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, you don't have to do that. I just kind of like it. So, don't forget, if you like this, to share. Sprinkle the love to others. And I would take a picture of this and put it on Liz's craft page. And if you guys make something from any of my videos, please post them on Liz's craft page. I'd like to see your creations. So I will see you here tomorrow at 11:30 Central for another craft. Until then, keep crafting. Bye.